bringing you closer to accomplishing your goals, reaching your desires, stepping into your future. I will be counting you out shortly. When I do, and when I reach the number 5, you will find that you are completely out of hypnosis and no longer suggestible to any outside influences. Completely out of hypnosis. And when I reach the number 5, you will find that you feel energized and refreshed, wide awake, totally out of hypnosis. Counting you out now, starting with the number 0. And 0, as always, means deep sleep, deep relaxation. Taking a moment longer to allow your body a few more seconds of even deeper relaxation. Feeling each muscle relax just a bit more as you take in one more deep, cleansing and relaxing breath. And now counting you out of hypnosis, starting with the number 1, then 2, 3, feeling yourself beginning to come back, 4, eyes beginning to open, feeling yourself coming back into the room, and 5, eyes open, wide awake, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out of hypnosis, eyes open, wide awake.
So I made to my recollection, I've not made a meat patty. I've watched other people make meat patties. Usually if I eat a meat patty, someone else makes it. Or a long, long time ago, like in high school, when I used to eat at fast food, I would buy it. So anyway, I'm making, this is from Blue Apron, provolone cheeseburgers with pickled beet and roasted potato wedges. I use the potatoes in the salmon and potato. So you get 3 meals, and apparently I used all the potatoes for that. So I have no potato wedges, so I brought Grillo pickles, which I already had in the fridge. So in case I need a little more supplementing along the vinegar brine theme, it's my first time cooking with the Chioggia beet, Chioggia. That sounds Italian. So what would that be? Key. When you have a CH, that's a hard K sound. And that GG with an I is ya. So Kyoga? Kyo. And then the second to last syllable is emphasized. Kyo. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's been a while since I've studied Italian. Let's see. So for the beets, beet, sugar, vinegar, tablespoon of water. Cook them for about 2 or 3 minutes so they soften, and then salt and pepper to taste. Anyway, this is my first provolone cheeseburger. It's my first cheeseburger period that I think I've made for me. So this was based on Nina saying, "Eat meat; it's going to make you heal better." Let's see how I do. It's actually pretty good. Yummy. Uh-oh. This tastes good. This might not be a good thing. No. Not for the coward. No, I'm just joking. It's good. It's a little potato roll, really soft. It was Neiman's Farm grass-fed beef, which I believe is from California. And I only know this a little bit because Andy always bought the best cuts of meat at Whole Food, and so he had bought Neiman's before, so I know the brand through him. Wow, I didn't realize it was this easy. Minno's got my back. Looking right through me, looking at my meat patty. I'm going to put this on pause, eat it, and then we're listening to hypnotherapy with Linda Simon, and new hypnotherapy, and I've had these for ever since basically when I moved to Maine. Not long after I moved to Maine, I connected with her, so I have some insights. Get this down. There. You see that? He's not moved until there's food being offered to him. Wow. Do you want to see how I did? Here. Hamburger? I think that was a little bit of something hard. I guess that happens in hamburger or meat. Now he's totally in position. Wow, it's nice. I don't usually cook meat on my own. Just make bean soup. You like beef? You like beef? The growing confidence to be aware is knowing that you can't cast two. So you knows that you can't cast two if they stand dudes. Dudes with needing two. Casting the doubt on the woman like she never came with Jesus or for him, right? And rather, I feel and think and listen for proof, I think it's the reverse. You cast the blame on the woman because you, as a man, know you're already screwed and you can't cover the fact with lover. Okay, clover. Mm. It's really just a really nice uh, mix and balance of flavors and textures. And freshness. So what you have for common value is finding someone that finds you as pitiful as they are too. To speak for dudes that are dudes, asking you as the screw that you screwed edit tooth. The ag, who's also pitiful in your behalf and have, to his mar, he ages, marriage. He only stands dudes to dab abuse. Haha, I didn't do it. I decided to become a judge so I could wash my hands of that I shunted to by being one. To get it done. Done on my own nest. Asked you. Wow, that was pretty fun. That was actually quite delicious. Simple in terms of a few items, and yet really spot on satisfying. I don't think I would have had the confidence without the little hedge of the presentation and the recipe and the ingredients prepared for me, because I would never have picked up a kyoga beet and would have thought that you can pickle it with a bit of red wine, sugar, and water in a few minutes, and it's delicious. And, a little salt and pepper. And I want to know what to do with the meat patty, but this one just said chop some garlic, salt and pepper, mash it together, form a patty. I made mine really flat because I didn't want mine uh, raw. It didn't need to be overdone, but I didn't want it, Andy's always liked his bleeding. I didn't really like them bleeding. I mean, we could have Menses cereal if you like bleeding, right? That's what I'm thinking. If you want cow blood, I've got some Menses for you. There is such a thing, I've heard. Dudes putting Menses on their cereal. Actually, I didn't hear it, I just read it. Believe what you want, okay? Hero. Doc, the hero that rode the next dock. Let's see. Right, so I'm going to give this to Minnow, but I want to put it in his dog bowl. But I don't want to get up right now. I want to finish this. And although it's not excessively fair to Minnow because he is looking square on the plate right here. Things that I thought of is that at the very least in our our conquested, sorry, my loss. What we're looking at in our conquested STEARE, steers and stairs, and with air even, we're looking at the very least 3 people that know they did not come from love. Okay, they know that. I know that. And yet, I stand to try and make dues with myself in follow through. The significant shifting of the tables is where previously we've had 2 thieves as 2 dudes standing two and 2 dudes, debt to two more dudes, to speak malfeasantly for you, EWE, in court too, okay? Even if the court pretends it's going to help you against you being date raped, they're setting up the D-A-R-A-D, okay? They're setting it up without any boundaries to just make shit up in its own deserted head as the desert, to be like, well, I could really get a fine, renowned bit if I just like blow everyone up or something. I'm seeing the deserted head that has no boundaries and it's all artificial to begin with. It's lending the same talent to tend and to bend, edit, to rend. Rend has the tend, always hyphenated. It's all it could come up with, okay? Society, for no reason thieving, provides it the image of value without any working knowledge. With what you see is what you get, is what you know, how it works, okay? Okay? You don't have to go sussing through it through politeness that has no right to give it, okay? Fair point. Collective. uh, cable connection management, for connectivity. Let's see. So what you have now is you've got 2 women, and the man is a sandwich. He's in the middle. And like the parallax for competition thief end, you've got two dudes with a woman sandwiched by thief ends. So you're cutting on both sides to keep defining what origin is, to be spoken to and boot in your room, to rise to the challenge in the unborn knave by making you as the woman sandwiched by two dudes to carry on through you, to make you unsustainable, to their needs, to ask you to be screwed, to the tag, okay, to the ag, to the judge, and to the agriculture, to land, misused, misapplied, whatever the fuck you want, to get it ass naked, to be your dab, bid, bide, and dab, bid, and a bride, okay, to deliver time and tin and tine in your hind as thine, okay. Doft, I guess. Well, let's not segue to that yet. So now we've got a man in the middle of two yous. One in his marriage, one in the forum, which is the ag, and now the agriculture, and it's outside his business. And I'm asking you, you know, what face do you choose? The significance of shifting of the table is we can cut on both ends now and get our value to an innocent zero. The value of Rich so far is he seems to know that, okay? To his credit, I can't knock that away, even though I'm trying to. Why? Merit S proof 2. To demonstrate the hand of E value AD. Who would edit 2? To tooth the H, parentheses EWED, the hued hand and head, as a service to trib rib butte. Button butte. Okay. What else? Well, I thought it was significant to express that at the very least there's 3 people here that know that they did not come from love, not even in their marriage, okay, and that's why they are standing fortified together, even though previous to me they were working very hard to be apart. To have merit in their own heart, okay? But they knew they didn't come from love at some point. That when they got married, I'm sure they thought, we're going to make love happen, because we are love and we're committed to that, so we're going to work for it. But shit happened, okay? And it was set up that way before they saw, with a verbal, shit list that was hitched to hyphens, which makes sussing difficult when, you're not standing your own dues and you're making up a third person as go odd. It's actually stupid to get rich, to two-toft through hyphens, okay? So, just so we can clearly see what's ingest, ingest, and ingesting stable, able, stable, bled, BLEAD, heathen head, and hand, Dow, dough hand, Dow with where? Where the right thing to say to be here, and then we'll know you have the value to wear H-E-I-R. You have the value to square, you know? So I do think it's significant broadcasting now to stand. I'm only building in that direction, in that trend, to be contained. Tool 11, okay? It's going to tool 11 and stand. So we're not going back to black for no reason of a hyphenated key route if I fact. Off the fact. That's hyphenated. Tool least as last. That's a female. Last. Hyphenated. Studded. STD. Disease. Okay? To speak in my name and broadcast for me. Form and forum me and means that have the means to seek it to the theme of me, mate. I ate with my mate, and to make me one eye, okay? Money follow through to the ingest, sate through the state of stable, okay? Sustainable, stable, and sustain. The mark that you stand, you're putting the same stain to stand your awareness to the land, a land, and LH, the hand. Land, the hand, and the land. And keep continuing with every step you want to take. You get to wear your own name. You don't get to forge a third person. We're doing it for God. No, you're not. You don't go to war for God and the Savior. You're automatically off the guest list. Okay? And I'm here to prove amply that you can't step off your forgery onto an honest dime and keep your income as your hinge in thine tin time that's inclined, doffed, stupid, as the testate who would assay, which is to test the meta and metal, to lever every day, and dates to be hyphenated. Doff needs war because he's stupid, and he sees that as a great asset to toot and loot toft, to get a lot. It's hyphenated for him to score ass. For no reason, he's not really a candidate, he's only an imp ass, okay? To have your back in black, okay? So Toph can keep speaking for dudes who lay their life on the line for two dudes. That's about it, okay? What else? So let's see. I'm going to take care of this. I am doing a video right now. I'm going to put it on pause and see if some of those other thoughts come back to me so that I can bring them to the fore as well. When I say that you've got at least 3 people here that know they did not come from love, I mean, at the very least, also that they can't forecast do of by being do of in a system to cast lots off of doft, stupid, to hand doffs, sought with slot, sloth, and sloth through another hand doffed. Okay, so that's who's speaking for EWE. Okay, we have no follow through that way, so we're not able to generate it. Those of us that are righteous enough don't get our nasty bits all tingly because we're watching you that continue to screw. Like, okay, take J-Lo and what's his name, Alex Rodman. don't know. I got a different baseball, okay? BC, base in case, C as everything. And in that you sever, ever yet, tin, hinge, etc. These are two people that have expressed showmanship, like back, back to back, black and black, okay? Look at me. I can go and gauge people singing. Well, how about you gauge mine that's exceptionally tone deaf? With the each contained in the direction finder, D parentheses EAF. It's all just made up. Alex Rodman, in my time, would be the one pissing and moaning if only he had a brain. He can do time. He could doing time also, okay, to proclaim. He can came and came and came again because he's already come even. Paying too much for sport, all right, sporting, a gab, a gigabyte of abort. Of a meal you crumbed off, doffs, steel eel, okay? And called it, and renamed it, My Merry Steed. Okay, Jesus. Anyway, yeah, you probably believe in Jesus, and you wear fondly little jiggly things with the golden trinkets. Oh my God! Okay. Let's see. Before I go on to the next thing that I remember to talk about, I have 6 of these now. Zum Clean, 32 loads. I've got 6. I ordered 3 the first time. Star with 2 R's that lives across the hall from me. He got the first box. Now I checked who they sent it to because I'm like, it didn't arrive. It says they gave it to a woman in the lobby. I'm like, well, the woman wasn't me, so where is it? Because I was down there that day and the day after. So I really didn't, when I contacted ea.ven again, I didn't intend to, to contrive to get 3 multiplied into 6 and cutting my price by half. One reason I bought 3 is I really like this. It smells delicious, and it's free of sulfates and phosphates, so it's good for the environment. It's not a detergent, it's a laundry soap with pronounceable ingredients, pronounced effects. So I really like the smell of it, and my clothes don't get so dirty and grimy that I need artifice Tide, or you know what I mean? If I can be kinder on the environment, why not step down, Step my consumption to something that meets my needs. So I like this. It smells good. If you, on ea.ven, if you buy things, one thing I've noticed when I first started shopping there, incredible values. I think I got that bean soup down to $2 each, where I could go to Market Basket, which is known for great prices, and it's about $6. So I also got my Royal Bee honey, better value there than at Whole Foods, and this I don't know where to buy it locally. So when you buy a few more items, you get like 3, you get a better 3 or 4, you get a better % off, and then they send you an email about once a month to like, okay, buy now and buy this category and you're going to save 10%. I've noticed that the prices are going up. They're kind of like doing what Whole Food prices now, and also it kind of makes me want to shop locally then, because I don't have to go through the UPS FedEx hassle. But should it be a fortuitous miss, I get double. Double that I do feel entitled to for fucking having to hoof UPS on occasion and FedEx, and and spend all my time calling about my package and waiting and jumping through hoops of polite people that I don't understand their accent. and and I'm not throwing disdain on a different country. I'm throwing disdain on you're being employed because you're stupid. So you're being employed to foot the bill that someone's putting something over on you to be Jew. Jew, as Guga, is a showy, worthless thing. But if you're going to speak J with your jaw as G, grace and gravity, we can interpolate. I think, Tao with Wei, we can interpolate DNA, the male's contribution to the chromosome to DNO. You know, the A, fictional to the land, could as well be a 0 for no reason. It works in my mind for follow through with what I can see on the line that I'm giving time. And there's no donor or honor to be brought. With your own tin in your own time in your own hind, as asking thine. And thine begotten, your relations, the people you work with. Start seeing through that. Y'all that are being polite, we all know that we don't have follow through even. So even if we want to love, purport to love, desire to love, we know we do not have follow through with you asking, skewed as you are the screw, to go fishing, shiny, shin, hind, and hand it in. Your name as your merit that you made up malfeasantly on a god, and to dow with war, with the ag providing the consort and contort, to taint and paint, all hyphenated in the same container doffed to two-topped estate, for no reason you ever faced AD, okay? And by right, have no right to be merry, MERREYE. Let's see. Yes. Curious, I had to fix my teapot over there. I have a little red teapot. The back handle, there's a little screw on it, and it has come loose before, and it, boop, came loose again, and this little washer, I had to go fumbling for it, and get over there, and my slim little toolbox. I don't have a toolbox, I have a bank, a pleather envelope. It's from a previous job. I think it's when I worked at a video store years ago. After college. And I use it just to have an assortment of tools here, screwdrivers and whatnot, something that will fit in that I use for home use, as opposed to working in the trades when I worked with building homes and working on homes. And so I thought that was interesting. The back handle came off and had to screw it. It is inclined to pop off again because it's, how do I want to say, it's not, it only threads so much. So kind of torquing the handle makes it come off. But anytime that happens, I'm able to get my Phillips screwdriver, and which is the one with the cross on it. I can torque it just enough so I can use it. If I don't do this with it, I have a usable red tea kettle. Call it black, if you will. What else? So there's something significant about three people at the very least. No, they do not have love and follow through, and quite conceivably in their own relationship within themselves, and without in the outer world. They don't have it either. You put up a facade to make business for what you've already put tone to, but put tone to is brought by the thief ends. Those are the only two people speaking one-on-one. Thief end. ea.ven. Oh, well, we can't avoid a war. Yes, I know. It does not suit you. Okay? It's not talking about what you would have anymore. It's not contestable because it's not in your contention. This isn't my bone of contention. It is my TB, tone and bone. Even. The reversal. You see 8 up there? Pretend. Sometimes when I'm on FaceTime, I don't use FaceTime to talk to anyone. I use it sometimes to get a better picture, and then use it with my Movavi screen capturing, so you could see me maybe when I'm writing or observing, something online, because Movavi will capture what's on my screen, but it flips the image. FaceTime flips the image. It makes it a reverse. That 8 still looks like an 8. You take that 8 and let me try and get this better. I'll just keep going. Oh, there we are. Okay. So you take that 8, you reverse it, it still looks like an 8. The 8 in the mirror, in TH, time, hydrogen, EM, the hem, the M is the, as with the N, as per your enemy, is, it's the size you occupy in the printed page. It's the width. As your word, as you would have it lay, day. That means for another day. Assuming that you're writing to lay day. Okay? The reversal of 8 is still 8 in the mirror. In THEMI, R over R. O, R, parentheses H, that's your right hand, EIGHT. So you rate with 8. So now what I'm suggesting is 8 is the same mirror in reflection, even if it's flipped, and it's still comprised of 2 connected zeros, okay? It's the same, you're working with the same 0. You're working with the same positive and negative content, artistically speaking. With your right hand, you 8 and rate. In the mirror, the 8 is still an 8. It's still ass snake sacred, ass naked, a naked end eating the head again as its haven to distribute the tail end to dow with waken. You rise up your yeast. Your yeast is your word, it's your H, okay? That's how you're making your conversation to date, to marry the estate. But I am more than suggesting as the guest that you're doing it fictional to a fictional nail. That nailed doff to two toft, okay, to continue on. Without thinking ever to distribute REALL, only R-EEL hyphen, okay. So I would challenge you, as with any other doff tone, to and through, it's not their right to continue, to ask you to have it be screwed back in black with hyphens, meaning if the right two people were ever speaking one-on-one, we'd have a different lay of the land in our economy. What you see would be what you get. Someone is nice to you, they have afforded it. Okay? They didn't make shit up to have it, which everyone thiefing, competition for no reason, thiefing is doing with dudes. Okay? To stand their acumen and acquired estate on the fictional nail to tell to toot and loot doft. Loot toft that he had doft. Tall ball. Okay? Ball a lad. All the way, okay? The hyphen date for competition for no reason versus date for completion even has never been given. So your Bible bled doft, okay, with hyphens. And your pastor is a fictitious consort. In this sense, bring the goods, okay? Or stop speaking for them. Because you're marring my with your mark by laying your hyphenated H with no guest to sit that sat state to start. Okay? You're forging a distraction and you're calling it forgiving, but it's really hyphenated for regiving. In. Okay? For no reason. Dow with wart to gain. Doff to speak to two dudes to protect his reputation for being seen for standing tooth is to be able to continue to abuse women, to not be that men without the fiction. Okay, doft is fiction. I think the women with omend is the nonfiction. And they are the carriers of the state. Tool leavened date. Even in Nate, you do it in the date. Your hind in the date. So we're stepping it back. One of the things that I like about Coldplay, it's been kind of a Coldplay day, is a lot of what he does, it's in reverse. And I kind of find a lot of what he does is very kind of like, if he doesn't know better, it feels like intuitive magic. Little things that I pick up on is, well, it's very magnetic, you know, because it seems to be somewhat transparent, you know, in honoring life. and I think that might be a surprise with the way that I speak with a forked tongue. you know, it's just because of what I continue to stare at and can't get through. Okay, now we could lay it back on my means. I haven't engineered it to give it a go again. So, you know, but I've put it out there before. Maybe I just didn't put enough hay in the barn with my last straw. Straw raw. You know, so I could heat it again. See, I set it to tread it and then trial balance bread it. To give ta and law with weight. He ate. He ate miscontent to date. I think there's something in the reversal of 8 that's still an 8, and it mirrors the 0, 2 zeros, with RH, the right hand, and making the height and the rate, RE, eat itself, bit with twice to toe what with to toe. You can say ice. Well, again, that's calling your capital cold from how you laid it. Okay, how you laid your breathing word to be transpired, expired from someone else's vision from the ether, and you're in doing that. The mirror with writing the 8R with the H, the height. There's this image of twice, two toe with ICE. I see the common era. Now, we live in a civil. We're a first world country, but we're egregiously capable of spinning bullshit. Okay. You ask me about North Korea, I think they see that, okay? As a first world country, we're bullying people with our bravado, and it's a hyphenated 0, and it's totally made up and fictional, fictional, okay? We're not white tone nest without hyphens, okay? And our image to bolster with military, guns, drones, Navy, to put guns in young trigger happy teenagers' hands and let them do the thinking for EWE, and let them give them money to think they have the right to. You're not stipulating awareness T, okay, that you would give to. So there's something about casting for reward off a toff, forward toff, doff to toff. There's just a thought that I had, but I haven't fully fleshed it out yet. If I think of Toft in the competitive marketplace, he's pulling a conversation from the hyphenated black, which is basically pitching, bitching, and itching that it was necessary for war to protect love. To date. For who to date? Thieves? Okay, thieves at the very least. Said it, meant it, and there's not one among you thieves that can communicate to me in writing or in video, where I cast your image with mine, that tells me otherwise. Because you're not that brave. Frankly, okay? You're not really that brave to frankly put your malfeasant face on the line in the same frame, okay, that's giving time. And I know that. Because my guest sat state and knows how to do it stably and knows how not to do it, which is to go out in your fictional fucking marketplace that does not have any place for me. Okay? Over the tears, over trying things and being like, doesn't work for me. Let's figure out why. Oh, I have something honest to offer. And there's no one there to proffer. I get it. Why wouldn't I then seek a free ride by getting married? Because I don't desire to be unhappy. Or to make anyone else unhappy. Blessed be. I still am thinking of somebody. If it would have, could have, be, should have, be at T and B, team and beam me. me or marry ID for like, get the pitch and bitch out of here, you hyphenated SOB with an N in it, you snob. Your SOB with your snob knob, it's hyphenated. Knob is another name for a rich person. So it brings me back to doing marketing is really the only valuable thing I can do to protect myself. To protect, R-O-T-E, but also to R-O-A-T, throw a note. Not here, bullshitter. I eat yet, okay? Till my ends are met. Toe twice. T parentheses 0, W-I with I-C-E. Lice, put some hyphens in that. You're down with war, hyphen T, or you're not even thinking about that. So your bliss is basically constitutionally that you don't know better. And you don't know better because your parents didn't teach you better, which is now part of my problem, apparently. Because you look at me, say if you're Ashley and you've got a family, like, what's wrong with her? She's not very nice or appealing. She's not very, very soft and forgiving to have a relationship. Well, I'm not here to shovel your shit, is what it's about. Quite frankly, I use my social dynamics quite differently. As an example for any fictional Ashley. I only bring these things up because there is a curious meta with what meets my eye. I can speak on knit, K-N-I-T, and it reveals something to, at the very least, Rich and Sharon. They're reading into it. So in a way, what appears to be very domicile idiocy to make videos to put on YouTube, you know, like the one with the watermelon dum-dum, and then someone commented on it kind of like, you know, why is this even here? It's because you're the dingbat. Watermelon, dum-dum, okay. You're not thinking to be here, or ether, or there. So, you know, what you're doing with your Chewy Chewbacca stolen facade of Billy Lord's mother from Star Wars, you're just fiction tupping and supping upon fiction. To think that you're slinging value around to get a stare. I mean, that's why you wrote on me. That you would be the heir. This does not make sense. Well, how do I break this to you, Chewy? You've never made sense, okay? With the rightful ear. 'Tis not, K-N-O-T, ta, thanks, me, I, tay me, I, E-I-D, O-F-F-A-L-T, it's not my fault. I fall to time. Every time. Because I can. And I can because I've been doing this a long time. And I have a experience of working with what I get when I take myself, just being myself, to the marketplace. Okay? So it's lies to dow with war, to not think better of yourself, of selling yourself, other than being the merriment idle and title lie of not giving an honest shit and not endowing the value to be brought through your own lineage, for your own family. You're staring at three people at the very least that have been bullshit on quite a bit, and they're tired doff fit. Okay, they're tired of fitting doffed, and we're trying to, I would say, the dynamic has revealed our lot of what we want. So, you know, we're working out our bullshit, our beef before we meet, at the very least. Beef before we meet is you have to help make the ends screw. Okay, you gotta screw this value together if you want it to. Well, in part, that's what Rich is waiting for. Rich is a life path. His life path is 8. Sharon's life path is 9, as is mine. Sharon's let's see, your birth. No, it's not birth number. I haven't done numerology for a while, so your day number is a 6. Sharon's is, and so is mine. If I remember, we both have 1. 1 and 6 are the stronger numbers. Okay, so I've got 2 6s and 1 1. A 9. I go 1 2 3 6 6 9, and that's as much as I'm going to talk about numerology right now. You know, but Rich is a 8 number for his life path, and he is, if I remember, his birthday, how he appears, is a 1. And what else? His sister Sue, I believe she is a Pisces as well. His wife is a Pisces. Aries to Pisces. Pisces creates a world for Aries, like a bubble for Aries to live in. That's the dynamic from what I read astrologically. I'm a Libra on the cusp of Virgo. Virgo Moon, Virgo Mercury. I've got 4 other planets, I think 4 other planets in Virgo, 3 in Scorpio, Sag rising. I've got a lot of Virgo and Scorpio. I've got all the water signs. My Scorpio prominently is both in my Mars and Venus. By the book of looking at astrology, Virgo Moon combined with your Mars and your my Mercury basically makes me pretty litmus in terms of seeing through anything. All right, the Mercury and Scorpio forming what astrology says is your approach for doing business. You're talking about the sharpest screws, okay? Screws and skews, okay? If we're using astrology as our content to study form and forum. Sharon's has a Scorpio moon, and both her and Rich, their Mars, their business. I believe, I'm pretty sure it's Mars, is both in Virgo. So, and Rich has a Scorpio in, I believe it's Neptune. So you're working with myth and legend there. I brain angle, okay? I brain angle and I work what tool works best here, okay? I look for patterns. Is what it comes down to. I look for patterns, and where they work, I'm like, huh. Then I start looking for connections, and I start looking for uh, working paradigm. And what that yields me, as I start paying attention to paradigm and working paradigm, it allows me. You give me two tacks. You give me two tacks. One impression, one tack, and I know your direction. I know your trend. I know your trajectory. Okay, that's what it does. I don't know if it's just my special skills. It's easy for me. At this point, it's easy. But I feel I've applied myself quite a bit. you know, I never knew as an athlete if I was good because I had talent or if I was good because I worked hard. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. So I'm kind of sensing Chris Martin's down, um, shoot. I don't really know what to say to bring you up except that you're gonna have to bring yourself from from real value, okay? The things that I wrote and broadcasted, on your YouTube music channels and those that work with you, and then on my Twitter, and that's going to be on the richroad.is website, formally speaking. I'm not against you. I think uh, you're quite transparent in terms of uh, being in black. Okay, wanting to be in black. All right. I'm simply masking. As I'm masking and leaving the pole vertical in terms of we do need real follow through. Okay. And one of the things that I gathered when I was watching your videos, which I like, they're very artistic, expressive, colorful. I like that, what I get from your image is, uh, well, besides love, okay, I don't see you as you're not putting lust to the fore. Even when you're working with Rihanna, okay, you two face to face, it wasn't, you were giving her a frame to hone and own her own expression. It didn't come as the lusty real estate of, say, what J-Lo does, okay? Which is, see my guitar hips, see my ass. I'm going to pluck a chord that's hyphenated, and we're all going to agree it's music. Hyphen T, okay? It'd be interesting I'm saying your music is appreciable real estate without the image, okay? But the image only seems to uh, have the same. It resonates emotionally. Well, okay, with the image you're lending. So it's interesting because you're really talented, and I think in the times that we are in, that talent is meant to kind of elicit a want, a desire, and a desire is, the embodiment of this person's amazing, they're talented, they're what I want. But it's very interesting because when you're playing with, you've got the guitar and you've got the big artificial flowers in front. You're humble enough to make fun of yourself for kind countenance. It seems to be relatable with your feet on the ground with people all the time. So as much as your talent is covetable, your image doesn't ever make it doesn't make me want to lust, which I think is great. Okay? I think it's great because it's interesting to me. It's interesting to me because it's an unusual balance. And from what I can read, and I've not read a lot of the comments because I've just kind of dropped in and put some in, but I tend to kind of scroll down a little bit. People are very, very moved by your voice. And candidly, so when I'm watching this today, it got me thinking about Gwyneth Paltrow. And even though that you came together and had kids, and then had the unconscious uncoupling, which became a internet meme of sorts. How I see it is, look, for whatever reason, maybe your relationship was not serving one or the other to keep growing for reward. Maybe, you did what you need to do, or you needed more and you discovered it, but what I think is, I actually think the phrasing and framing of unconscious coupling, it seems to ring through, because if you allow Gwyneth to go forward as she wants to, at the same time you have a relationship and a family paradigm that where you're expressing love for each other and the family and what you've created, she knows she has a valuable thing that she has you that she has in black. It would be back, the back night. So honest to the tack, you've got her back. That's pretty awesome. So she can go forward, and that's earnest to see. I think, anyway. I don't have all the angles, but I can tell you with what I'm working with. Today's honey yogurt lid compliments a minnow. He gets the lid. Then I give him a little bit of this. Did you like that, minnow? Are you resting? Are you resting? You can have this. Would you like it? What if I put it right here? No, I'll put it right. No, right. There you go. I know. Okay, there you go. We have a thing. I think I got a fruit fly. Ah, damn it. I didn't squish it. It flew away. Alright. Let's see what's going on here. Here's the deal. The raw deal is, if I'm being nice, but you know my background, which is I engineered this paradigm, you're never going to see me separate from it anymore, okay? You know what I stand for. You also know that I don't fit in your fucking marketplace. So if I'm nice, I get no value, and if I create haste with honest taste, I've got honey on that. Royal bee jelly honey with pollen and ginseng. uh, all you do is you sit there and feel bad. Well, maybe you need to feel bad first, okay, before you go forward. Because what I'm sensing here is just like, I feel bad. I feel bad. It does. If I tell you something nice, you feel bad. If I tell you something like you're fucking jacked off, Freeman dop, the tube top, container dop, and you're singing whimsical songs. Well, women are being framed as vain, but you really are not, because you didn't care to think it through even and bend it. Okay, so I get no plug. So, maybe you just need to think on that a little bit and start seeing what's necessary in reality, and bring it to the fore. I can't harvest your emotions when you always want a fucking abort, okay? Hyphenated to retort, so you can continue on the same framework with no honest accountability. Do I have to teach you how to be nice? And I didn't mean that to look like a smirk. A smirk. Do you just not know how to step up? The resistance is that you don't have enough proof, which would be enough people seeing this. Like I said, rich life path is an 8. The business numbers are 2, 4, and 8. He's got them all. I've got all the creative numbers. 3, 6, and 9. So does Sharon. If I remember, yeah, you've got all the creative numbers also. So numerology has like business or mental numbers. It's got which would be, business is 2, 4, 8. Intellectual is 1, 5, and 7, and creative is 3, 6, and 9. And each number has its own attribute. 8 is going to be a driving force in business. As far as I'm concerned, because people are like, oh, you do tarot. Well, no, I'm working with what I have to work with, so I'm looking for patterns. Facade, what you see is what you get. I think that's why facade works for me. Facade tarot. And what I'm always questing is feeling. I'm not questing usually what a person thinks about me. I want to know how they feel about me. I'm doing the dynamic in the knave, I guess. Basically, it started as an instinct. It's what I do. My relationship, I've got a 7 in my astrology chart, which I believe is the number for relationship, and it's in Cancer. And Cancer is the moon, and Cancers feel their way into resolving problems, or, anything. Sharon has a rising Cancer. So she's Pisces, Scorpio moon, rising Cancer. All water signs. Which means you're probably like the epiphany of good sex. They say water signs are the best lovers. How does that make you feel, Sharon? Well, that's what astrology says. I think part of this sporting hinges and, tag, tap people, It's a way to create traction. I think so. I can do it. I do it because all I have is time to give. And no record except my own to show. So I'm building up my own rapport, it would seem, at the very least, to look into those dynamics. And it's part of a defense, okay? Scorpio has an indefensible defense. And I'm here to buy the fence. I already said it a long time ago. I'm buying the fence. Fence from Fen, the swampy marsh of I don't know because I don't want to know, and CE, Common Era. Better figure it out. There's not going to be any more fence left.